お前の目には見えているか、この世のすべての虚無。トルメンタルモンテスデシエラブリーチブレイブ創設。
Alright, what is going on, you guys? This is your boy the Death Smasher, and welcome back to yet another Bleach Brave Souls video. And today I am back again with another tier list, and this time around it's going to be mainly revolved on the actual movie characters, because now that they're done with resurrecting the OG 12 movie characters, and I'm assuming they're done with the remakes of the movie characters as well, which of course the last ones were the Tech Senna and the Speed Shuden. I don't know if we're going to be getting any more movie remakes, but if we do, then maybe later on down the line in the future I will actually update this tier list and maybe even change the format should we still be getting even more movie characters to come in the future. It's just that these movie characters are way more limited than the 1000-Year Blood War, Can't Run, and Spirits Are Forever With You characters, which I'm assuming it's more due to the actual license. Like, these movie characters do not come back very often because it took exactly a year from 2019 to 2020 to come back, and it did the same thing again from 2020 to 2021. So I don't know if we'll be getting any more movie remakes. If we do, nice, I'll update it, but if we don't, then it is what it is. But that being said, because this time we have a lot less characters to go on about compared to the 1000-Year Blood War and the Can't Run characters, I decided to have 3 sections, being best of the best, only good as links, and usable characters, which, by the way, hold on, I actually mixed up a couple things here, hold on. Okay, my bad, I don't know why usable characters were on the lower side while only good as links were the mid side. But anyways, the reason why I'm going for this type of route is because there's just not enough of the movie characters to rank for when it comes to the actual attribute. Like, for example, the Mind Kusaka right here is literally the only movie character that we have that is a mind character, and is literally still the only one that we have to date, which is crazy to even think about. And then for when it comes to the movie characters, we mainly have them more so for power, tech, and speed, and a couple for heart, but like, at the end of the day, just heart and mind aren't as stacked as compared to power, tech, and speed. So I decided to go for this route, and you know, it works at the end of the day, because a lot of these older movie characters did get their resurrections, thus becoming even better, and some becoming really good links to use even if the character got the really bad treatment. So yeah, that being said, I am still going to apply the same function that I used in my previous tier lists, where per category, the left side is basically the best out of all the characters, and then all the way to the far right happens to pretty much be the worst ones for that category alone. So yeah, without further ado, let us go ahead and begin the actual tier list. Now, I'm going to be starting from the very first movie and then ending it off with Hellverse, so that way we pretty much go through it in a chronological order. So starting off with the Memories of Nobody characters, let's start off with the OG movie characters first. Now, we have the Power Senna. Now, when she came out, she was actually a pretty decent character, if I do say so myself, where she had a 2400 length beam move. However, the Crawling Vortex and the 900 radius SA3 is what really held her back from being a very OP character, but she was still good to use nonetheless, so I'm gonna put her here right on usable characters. Now, I did wish that her resurrection, she did increase the Havoc, because she already had Havoc even before getting resurrected. It's just that Kayla built her oddly enough to the point that she was still lacking the range even with Havoc, so it's a bit unfortunate if you guys ask me, because this is basically a weaker version of Power Aizen. Just that she has a 20% Berserker now, and she has Stamina Recovery as her secondary soul trait. So, yeah. And then up next, we have the Memories of Nobody Ichigo. Now, this character was already good upon release, but was lacking Devastation. So, for when it came to nuking with his actual special, he would not be able to get the job done. And he already had Frenzy with Havoc, and had double lunges on his kit, with his second lunge being quite different because he does lunge forward but then leaves an AoE effect behind them, killing even more mobs should they happen to spawn behind him. It was a pretty good strong attack, and then the third strong attack is 1080 radius, full screen, pretty good character, and now with his resurrection, they gave him devastation at 40%, but not only that, they even gave him a 20% berserker, as well as full stamina damage boost at 16%, making him possibly one of the better heart holo killers that we have in the game, maybe even better than Mugetsu, so I gotta put him up here. Best of the best. There's no way to go about for this character, so okay, up next is Ganryu. Ganryu, he was pretty mediocre upon release, where he only had a 50% bruiser with the 20% normal attack damage link, so no flurry, and in terms of guard breaking, he was doing the job just fine, but the lack of flurry is what held him back, and now with his resurrection, he did get his 50% bruiser replaced with flurry, and also picked up damage reduction at 12%, making this character a bit more usable. The only problem is that he doesn't have poise, but you know what? Just the flurry alone is what makes this character usable. He's definitely going to be pretty good to use in guild quests should you not have any better flurry characters out there to use for melee Soul Reaper week. Now, obviously, I do not recommend using him unless 5 out of 5, but he'll still get the job done regardless. And then we have the recent Texena. Unfortunately, this character did not get the justice she deserved, because it being a mid-month unit meant that Caleb would never give these actual units havoc, and the kit in and of itself wasn't exactly too brilliant because she did have the Shave SA1, SA2 being exactly the same as Fierce Battle Ukiura and the Fierce Battle Noitora, where it's like 625 radius, but the mags work differently, where it starts off at 20% and then goes up to 100%, and then the third is full screen. It is better than the Power Senna, I will say that much, but they kind of dropped the ball for when it came to giving this character a proper remake. So she's still gonna be on the usable characters. Like, she still is a fun character to use and whatnot. It's just that she's not the greatest. That's the best way to put about it. So yeah, and that's all of Memories of Nobody pretty much summed up. And now let us move on to the Diamond Dust Rebellion characters, which is basically movie 2. So first up, the Mind Kusaka. Now, this character was dead upon release. This character was literally just meant to counter Unohana back in the days of the good old PvP, where, you know, Unohana broke the game and whatnot before you even needed to have 5 out of 5 units to even, you know, be good in PvP and whatnot and stay up in the high leagues. Well, now this character is pretty much as good as dead. Like, even after his resurrection, he did not really get that much justice, because all he really did was pick up 16% normal attack damage on his soul trait, which, don't get me wrong, it's not terrible because it's damage reduction with normal attack damage plus 16%, so it's a good link, but his bruiser only got buffed from 40% to 50%. Now, it is granted a 66% increased bruiser, but because he also has Captain Killer and whatnot, let's be honest here, for when it comes to units that don't have Flurry, you need Killer. If you don't have Killer, you're not going to be usable anywhere. So he's just going onto this part of the tier list, only good as a link. Like, that's the best way to pretty much put about for when it comes to talking about this Mind Kusaka, unfortunately. Like, this character is literally the worst out of all the movie characters. And then we have Yin and Yang. Now, they were pretty decent upon release because they did have a good bruiser of 70%, including the normal attack damage soul trait. But that being said, the strong attacks for when it came to crowd control and guard breaking weren't really the best. And of course, nowadays, with, you know, Flurry being important for every NAD character, this character fell off hella hard, and we have the likes of Weekend that are just way better than this character. And after getting their resurrections, unfortunately, they did not pick up Flurry. Like, they had nothing changed on their skills, and all they really did pick up on the soul trait was strong attack recharge. Yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna have to put them above Kusaka, because at the very least for PvE usage, they are gonna be a bit better since they do have Soul Reaper killer advantage, and I do see normal attack damage plus strong attack recharge time of minus 10% still being quite useful as a link, especially for when it comes to playing as the Can't Fear Your Own World Ginjo, as well as the Beyond Resurrection Neliel. Like, don't get me wrong, Neliel doesn't have Flurry, but she still does have an 80% bruiser, and is just pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. And then up next we have the Movie Toshiro. Now, Movie Toshiro, funny enough, his kit is actually quite decent, but his first does have the ranged collision pushback strong attack. It's the same as Kusaka's SA1 and whatnot. But that being said, where this character falls short is the fact that his special is not full screen. And it really hurts the character a lot because you're not going to be able to nuke any room whatsoever. So for when it comes to single player content, it's just going to be fine, because at the end of the day, for when it comes to, well, you know, nuking the final boss room, upon getting to the final boss room, you just basically get up to the boss and nuke with your special. Well, in co-op, that's a whole different story, and having 900 radius means that you're not going to be able to nuke any rooms for crap, if I'm being 100% honest. He does have a decent kit though, where he has, I believe, 720 radius on his SA2, and then the third strong attack is a charge SA3, where upon fully charging it is 1080 radius. So the kit is good, but honestly, the Soul Bomb is where it really hurts the character a lot overall. So I can't really put him above the Tech Senna, even though he does have a way better kit and has a higher Berserker than Senna. I just can't do it. Like, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I just can't do it. Like, that's how much the special hurts this character as an overall unit to play as, which is sad. And now, the last of the Diamond Dust Rebellion characters, the remake of Kusaka. And oh my god, bro, they made this character OP. Like, he went from being doo-doo to literally being a god. And you know where he goes up at? He goes on the best of the best tier list, because he is the best tech Soul Reaper killer that we have gotten to date. 3000 length beam move on the first, 960 radius on second, and then the third strong attack is the Vacuum Vortex SA3, similar to 5th Anniversary Byakuya's SA3, except the radiuses are different, where it starts off from being 810 radius and then pushes itself up to 1200 radius. Now, the SA3 can be somewhat questionable, but it's still good enough for when it comes to killing out multiple mobs, and even then, you still have a godly SA1 and SA2 to completely back you up for when it comes to playing as this character. Like, and the crazy thing about this character is that he is meant to work alongside the likes of Machine Society, Nemu, because of the fact that Nemu buffs the tech Soul Reapers, and Kusaka has the 20% damage to frozen enemies, and also has the 20% extra damage that he gives out to himself and to all other tech Soul Reapers, where you can basically do 20% more damage to enemies that have been affected by a status ailment. So overall, the 20% Berserker plus the overall 40% damage that he does to enemies that have been affected by a status ailment is no joke, honestly speaking. Sure, it's very RNG based, but it's still no joke, especially for when it comes to Inheritance Trials, with Nemu backing him up. So yeah, that's basically all of Diamond Dust Rebellion. Yeah, unfortunately, the overall resurrections of the actual characters, not really the greatest. Now, Toshiro's was a bit better because he did pick up strong attack recharge on his soul trait, and also an extra Berserker. But even then, what he really needed was not just recharge, but he also needed Blast Zone to help increase the radius of the special. So yeah, it's very unfortunate. And now, let us move on to Fade to Black Movie 3. Oh my goodness. Boy, was it a really disappointing time, because we were all anxiously waiting for Dark Rukia, and then upon her release, K-Lab decided to pretty much disappoint us with her. So let's just start off with the Tech Dark Rukia. Now, Tech Dark Rukia, she does have Frenzy and whatnot, but the SA1 is what really puts her off. Now, it is a 475 radius lunge, but it barely covers any distance, and it's split into 2 waves, which is what really hurts the character. Now, she does have a decent SA2, where it's the 2500 length beam move, and then the SA3, is a charge SA3 that can pretty much go up to 900 radius upon fully charging. So as an overall character to play as, she is decent. But however, for when it came to her resurrection, now I will give Caleb the benefit of the doubt because we did finally get our third strong attack damage / strong attack recharge link, and she did pick up strong attack damage at 16% for her secondary soul trait. But what did she pick up in terms of her resurrection? Weakened defense. Now don't get me wrong, Soul Bomb is very nasty for when it comes to this character because she does have weakening on everything, and weakened defense is good. So if you guys have her 5 out of 5 and you decide to, you know, max and send her and then get her to a T15 and give her another weakened defense, doubling it up, she'll new card. But as an overall character to play as, unfortunately speaking, she's not the best. So where am I going to rank Dark Rukia now? Dark Rukia, I'm not gonna lie, her kit isn't as good as Toshiro, but she does at least have a full screen special. And Senna, on the other hand, at least Dark Rukia has 2 better essays compared to Senna, where it's only the first essay. So I'm gonna put her right here next to the Tech Senna because I think it works best. And up next we have the movie Kisuke. Now upon release he was a decent character and whatnot, but the one thing that kind of hurt the character was the fact that his nat string could not penetrate through enemies. And honestly, I don't understand what Caleb were thinking because they did just come out with True Shikai Ichigo, where he had a piercing normal attacking string and had flurry, and this character for some reason was given a non-piercing nat string and only had 3 strings to be 100% precise, with the last hit being piercing. But because it's split and works exactly the same as Thousand Year Blower Byakuya, it meant that you needed to be very close at the enemy in terms of getting the best overall damage. And he only had a 50% bruiser back then and whatnot, so as a character he was decent to use, but now of course he's just outdated. But he did pick up Flurry on his resurrection, and he also picked up strong attack recharge on his soul trait to pretty much make it a very good auto link and whatnot. But like as an overall character to play as, I'm sorry, but the normal attack damage string, even though he did get Flurry, it's still not that amazing, to the point that you have better range characters that you can use that actually have Flurry, like Ginri. So unfortunately I have to put him into only good as links, but I am at the very least going to put him above Yin and Yang since he at least does have Flurry, so his nat string is still going to be hitting harder than Yin and Yang's despite not being a piercing normal attacking string. So yeah. And then up next we have Homura and Shizuku, which just like Kisuke, they did not get Flurry. They basically had the 60% bruiser, including the whole normal attack damage soul trait. So pretty much upon release they weren't really the greatest, but that being said, it was nice to see an actual unit where you could actually switch between having a melee character and a ranged character and whatnot. But the lack of Flurry is what kind of, you know, did not do justice to the actual character. Now, thanks to their resurrection, they did both pick up Flurry now. Now, that being said, Homura, when playing as the actual female variant, which is basically the range character, the normal attack damage string, just like Kisuke, it cannot pierce through, so you're not going to be having an enjoyable time for when it comes to playing as Homura. But for when it comes to playing as Shizuku, who is the melee variant, you don't have to worry about that, because once you switch to him, it's basically all about getting close and pretty much attacking the enemy mobs just fine. Now, he does have long reach and whatnot, so for when it comes to attacking mobs at a close distance, he'll be somewhat safe to use and whatnot. So thankfully you can bypass the whole problem of not being able to hit multiple enemies while killing them with the actual normal attack damage string. Now, unfortunately, in terms of soul trait, they only picked up poison reduction, which isn't as good as per se weaken, freeze, or paralysis reduction for when it comes to using them as an actual link in guild quests. The fact that we at least have a Flurry on this character makes them usable. So I'm gonna put him here, but I'm gonna rank him pretty much next to Ganryu, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, just Shizuku, who can pretty much take advantage of having Flurry compared to Homura, isn't exactly the best. And of course, you have Tokinata, who is better than the character, but you know what? It's still usable. So you know what? It still works. I do not recommend using this character for when it comes to either ranged or melee Soul Reaper wake, because it's just gonna slow you down, and sometimes the AI will just randomly swap in between the characters, so not really recommended. And then the last of the Fade to Black characters is the remake of Dark Rudack. Now, the Speed Dark Rudack. Oh boy, I gave this character a lot of hate, and I take back all the hate, because this is where I'm gonna rank her. I'm gonna put her on best of the best. Now, her SA1 isn't the best, because it is a ranged collision type of strong attack, but it's a 60% mag type of strong attack, where when getting close to the actual enemy, you will be able to hit insanely hard. But because this character has the disabler towards Power Soul Reapers, plus the damage to weakened enemies by 20%, plus the 20% Berserker with Frenzy and Havoc, it just makes her SA1 pretty good and is able to hit hard. And the SA2 is basically the same as Can't Fear Your Own World Shuhei's, where it's 750 radius on the SA2, 100% mag, and then drops down to 20%. It's a decent strong attack, not the best, but it's still going to be able to kill off mobs with that second strong attack regardless. And then the third strong attack is full screen 1200 radius. Now, she's not the best for when it comes to all the movie remakes, but she was given justice upon releasing. So, you know what? I give Caleb the benefit of the doubt, and I'm glad that we actually have ourselves a very good Dark Rudack now. So, you know, it feels nice, man. And finally, the last of the movie characters, Hellverse movie for Jigoku in right here. And funny enough, we didn't get one, but two remakes. So we have the Power Kokuto and the Speed Shuren right here, or just even better than before. But that being said, let's go with the OG versions of the characters first. Now, Shuren. This character was dead on arrival. He did not have Flurry or Frenzy, only a 40% Bruiser and a 40% Berserker. And even after getting his resurrection, the only thing he really did pick up was a 50% Bruiser. That's it. And in terms of overall skills, he did pick up Weakened Defense, and because he does have Bombardment on his actual skills, it makes him a very clean nuker. But honestly speaking, if nuking is the only thing that he really does, then it just sucks at the end of the day. And the Soul Trait doesn't really help as much because he had damage reduction initially, and with the secondary Soul Trait, he did pick up Strong Attack Recharge. Now, sure, it can be a good link for when it comes to linking him up to Oetsu, but let's be honest here, I think you would prefer to have normal attack damage with Strong Attack Recharge time, if I'm being 100% honest. So where am I going to rank Shuren? I'm at the very least gonna rank him only good as Lynx, but I am still gonna rank him higher than Kusaka because he at least does have Soul Reaper Killer and whatnot, so he is going to be doing a bit more damage numbers compared to Kusaka right here. And yeah, I know he's still trash and whatnot, but like, I gotta state the facts where they needed to be stated, so yeah. And then up next is Skullclad Ichigo. Oh my god, this character was so bad upon release, where he did not have long reach, which hurts the character a lot, and he also did not have Flurry upon release. He only had a 50% Bruiser with a 25% normal attack damage link. And now, after he got his resurrection, he did pick up Flurry and long reach. No poise, unfortunately, but he was still given a very good resurrection, regardless, to the point that he was actually usable for PvE content regardless. But that being said, I did wish he did pick up poise, or at the very least guard break, but you know what, it is what it is. The secondary Soul Trait, he did pick up Weaken Reduction, which is pretty good for when it comes to linking him to your NAD units for when it comes to doing guild quests. So where am I going to rank Skullclad Ichigo? I'm gonna rank him right here below Toshiro. I think that's the best way to pretty much rank this character overall. I did wish that they could have done a bit better, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm not complaining. At the very least, Skullclad Ichigo now did get a better version now. And now the last of the OG movie characters is the Speed Kokuto. Now, this Kokuto right here was already good upon release because he was sharing the exact same identical kit as the 1000-Year Blower Toshiro. The only difference was the SA3, where instead of being 1000 radius full screen, it is a vacuum into explosion type of strong attack. Now, it is 60% mag on all, so it's not really the best SA3, but he still had a very good kit regardless and was the best speed unit that we actually have gotten in the game before we gotten the likes of 1000 Year Blower Yamamoto, Yoruichi, and whatnot. Like, this character topped it all and was the best speed Soul Reaper killer in the game. And now, with his resurrection, they gave him Havoc and strong attack damage of 16%. And you know what that meant? It meant that this character was back competing with the newer speed Soul Reaper killers, even to the point that he was matching up so damn nicely against Tenjiro despite lacking the overall DPS, and just became even better than Bambiera. So where am I gonna rank this character up? Right over here, baby. Right over here. That's all I got to say. He is still one of the best movie characters we have in the game. That is crazy. They did justice to his resurrection, because he basically went from having the 475 radius lunge into a 571, and then the 800 radius cone-shaped attack into a 960, and it's like, it's so goddamn good. It's crazy to think, literally. And now, the remakes of the actual movie characters. Now, the Power Kokuto. Funny enough, this character is the best out of all the Link Slot Potion characters that we have gotten in the game, and has one of the best kits in the game, and is by far the second best Power Holo Killer that we have in the game. And I gotta put him right here. I gotta put him right here below Shuden, because he does have the Shotgun Blast SA1, where it's 1200 by 1200 in terms of length and width, 960 radius in front, and then the third strong attack is full screen 1200 radius, weakening on everything. You cannot go wrong with this actual character, and he even has guard break, meaning that all of your strong attacks will hit and none of your damage will ever get nullified. Such a great character, and they still make Kokuto so damn goated, even as an actual movie character. It's insane. And then finally, the last of the movie characters, the Speed Shuden. Now, this Shuden right here, he was given a lot of justice compared to this god-awful tech one right here, where he did get Flurry, also did get a 40% bruiser, and was given the exact same kit as the Spirit Society White Ichigo, where he has the Shotgun Blast on SA1, Walking Vortex on the SA2, and then the third strong attack is full screen 1000 radius, perfect for guard breaking. The only disappointing thing about this character is that he did not get guard break. But even then, the fact that he is just as good as the actual candidate figure on Road Tsukishima for PvE content puts him right here. Right here. That's where I gotta place Shuden, because he did get a lot of justice. He is a very hard-hitting normal attacking unit, and is by far top 3 best speed flurry characters that we actually have in the game, which is crazy to even think about. Okay, that basically ends the actual tier list. Now, do you guys agree or disagree with this actual tier list? If you guys do, let me know in the comment section down below. It was not easy to rank these characters in the best possible and accurate way possible, but this is basically the end result that I was actually able to come up with, and I'm glad it turned out okay. I'm gonna have a bit of controversy for, you know, having Kisuke only good as Links instead of having him as a usable character, but I stated my motive and why I kept an under there. So if you guys actually did skip directly to the conclusion, then I recommend going back to my explanation as to why I pretty much talked about that, and same for every single other character that I talked about in the actual tier list. So yeah, if you guys have actually enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, share this video with your friends and family, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, and hit the bell notification so that way you guys are up to date with my most recent videos. More videos are coming on the way, so stay tuned for that. This has been your boy, the Death Smasher, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace out, lads.